Hola, me llamo es Samantha Grace Ambrose LC. Esta es mi final presentation. El país yo seleccionaste fue Colombia. La capital de Colombia es Bogota. This is the flag of Colombia. It has three colors, amarillo, rojo, y azul. Amarillo stands for gold. Azul stands for the two oceans that it touches. If you can see over there, it touches the Caribbean Ocean and the Pacific Ocean. And the red stands for the bloodshed while fighting for their freedom from Spain. The capital of Colombia is Bogota, and its population is about 50 million. It has a few large cities, but just to name a few is their capital, Bogota, Cali, Medellin, and Barranquilla. So a little bit on the history of Colombia. It originally had two groups of people, the Tabiana people and the Mosaic people. They both spoke a language called Chibicha, and they were fairly developed. They were compared to the Incan people that a lot of us learned about in our history classes in like middle school and high school. Although they weren't as developed as the Incans, they were still fairly developed. The Spanish did arrive in 1525, and they made their first settlement in Santa Marta. Bogota was later founded in 1538, but didn't become the capital until 1717. In 1813, Colombia was able to declare its independence from Spain, and then in 1819 they formed the Republic of Greater Colombia, and that's when Simón Bolívar became their first president. They have had two civil wars throughout their history, one in 1899 to 1903, and this was the War of 1,000 Days. Their second civil war was called La Valencia, which stands for the violence, and that lasted from 1945 to 1957. So a little bit more on Colombia's independence from Spain. It all started when France invaded Spain in 1808. They did capture their king at the time, and his brother, Joseph Bonaparte, took the throne. The Colombian people were not happy about this, and in 1809, Torres Tenerino of New Granada, which is what they used to call Colombia before they were free, wrote Memorial de Agravios. So it was basically a letter of aggravations against the Spanish people and their offenses on the Creoles. We'll get into the Creoles later in a couple of slides. But after this, a lot of small cities in Colombia started declaring their independence from Spain. And they were all kind of looking at Bogota, which is the largest city, seeing what they were going to do and their influences on that. So in 1808, on April 20th, they had what I call the Flower Vase Riot. So what this is there was a well-known Spanish merchant in Bogota, and he was well known for not being he was well known for being greedy. And so these people knew that if they asked him to borrow a vase, he would say no. So they did ask him to borrow a vase. He said no as they predicted, and they started a riot in the streets of Bogota. It was to protest the arrogance of Spain, and it was led by Jose Maria Carbonell. In 1819, the Battle of Boyacá, Simón Bolívar took place as their first president. Alright, so I told y'all I was going to talk about the Creole people, and this is a little bit about them. This is the specific group in San Basilio de Palenque. It's actually the first free town in all of the Americas for African people. The Creoles, just like we have in Louisiana, are African slaves that came in and their culture really took root and became a big part of the history. So these Palenque people, as you can see, Palenque is located right up there by the Caribbean. UNESCO declared it a masterpiece of the oral and intangible humanity in 2005. The Palenque people have a really unique language, food, music, and just a really cool culture. A little bit about their food. These people right here, they're called palenqueñeras. They sell lots of like sweets and treats to a lot of the people that come and are tourists in Colombia. They sell like rice cakes and coconut cakes and a lot of yummy stuff. This is a dulce alegría, which literally just translates to sweet happiness. Their famous saying is "Mira a Palenque a comer," which just means "come eat in Palenque." So their language, it reminds me a lot of like the Gullah language that we have here in South Carolina. It's a mix of Portuguese, English, French, and a couple other languages. It came from when all of these Africans were taken from Africa to become slaves in the Caribbean islands, they would take slaves from different tribes in Africa that spoke different languages, so they couldn't talk and like form a riot against the slave owners. So a little translation, like if we were in class and we were going to say a beautiful woman, we would say una mujer bonita. But if you were going to say in Palenque, you would say un maje bonita. And if we were going to say I don't know it, we would say no lo sé. But a Palenqueñero would say yo y sabelo no. So one festival that they have in Colombia is Carnaval del Diablo. It's held on odd number of years, so every other year they have this, and it starts in June and it lasts for 6 days. So it's a fairly long festival. They celebrate with elaborate costumes and foods and music and reading poetry. And a big part of this is drinking sugarcane liquor. And on the last day, they have the burning of the devil and the burying of the gourd, and that kind of wraps up the whole Carnaval del Diablo. So a lot of people love football in Latin American cultures, but I wanted to pick something that was a little bit different, and I chose cycling. So in 1970, Bogota started a tradition where they closed their city streets and allowed for cyclists, pedestrians, and rollerbladers to kind of take over the streets and roam through without the worry of vehicles. It's every Sunday morning from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. and it's in Cali, Medellin, and Bogota. Medellin is the most bike-friendly city in all of Colombia, so I think it's just a really cool thing. It reminds me, we do Second Sunday here in Charleston on King Street, so they close down King Street and all the pedestrians are allowed to just like walk around and shop without worrying about cars or crossing the street or anything. I think it's a really awesome idea. And so the famoso that I chose from Colombia is Fernando Botero. He was born in 1932 and he's still alive to this day. So he is a really influential artist, and he was born in Medellin, one of Colombia's large cities. He started having his art displayed as young as the age of 16. So he gained popularity fairly quickly, but it wasn't until very recently he started using his art as a form of activism. So in 2004, he came out with a collection that protested the violence of the FARC drug cartel in Colombia, and that is going to be this picture down here as part of his collection. This is in the streets of Colombia, and in 2005 he released another set of pictures that protested and exploited the American abuse in the prisoners of Abu Ghraib in the Iraq wars. So the game that I chose was Balero, and I played this when I was a little kid, but I thought it was really interesting that a lot of Colombian children also play it as well. So their version is they have like a wooden stick with a cup on top and a ball attached to a string. So I kind of made my own at-home version, and the goal is to kind of swing your ball and get it in your cup and see how many times that you can do that. This is like a really popular gift for young children to like get really cool hand-painted ones, and it's just an easy, fun game. Alright, so now we're on to Segunda Parte, Yo sé. So I wrote down a few questions that I now know how to answer because I took Spanish 115. So, ¿qué llevas? Llevo una camiseta verde, los pantalones blancos y las sandalias café. Cuando mides, yo mido 1,80 metros y ¿tiene mascotas? Sí, tengo dos mascotas. Tally es un Shih Tzu y Jackson es un Labrador Retriever. ¿Tienes hermanos o hermanas? Sí, tengo dos hermanos. ¿Y de dónde eres? Soy de Charleston. En semana 1 hice mi binder cover. I really liked my binder cover. I had in there a few things. Mi profesión es biología, the semestre primavera 2020. I had my Chanticleer up there, and my quote was, falling down is an accident, staying down is a choice. If I were to go back, I don't think I would really change anything about my binder cover. I liked it all throughout the semester. Semana 2, yo aprendí vocabulario de la familia, y nosotros hicimos los formatos. Aprendimos sobre Paca, DACA y los latinos en los Estados Unidos. Me gusta forum dos. I really liked this assignment. It really got me into learning about the Latino culture in America and just like current events that I didn't know that were happening in our own country. I just enjoyed learning about this all throughout the semester. This is just the first one that we did in Semana Dos and have continued doing up until Semana Treintas. I really enjoyed that. So in Semana Tres, we had our oral spelling assignment. Yo aprendí de letra mi nombre en español. Mi nombre en español de letra Sananthaelesey. Semana 4, yo aprendí qué hora es. So, qué hora es en primera picture, son las 2:30, y in segunda picture, we have son las 9. In Semana 5, hice el horario de clases. Before the pandemic, and now we're in line, but I did have, this was my class schedule. Tengo clases todos los días, lunes, miércoles, and viernes. Tengo la clase de español, la clase de química orgánica y bioinformáticas de vagos. Y martes y jueves tengo biología y laboratorio de biología. Y only miércoles tengo laboratorio de química orgánica. En Semana 6, los hicimos our poster on Los Países Andinos. This was my poster on Las Islas Galápagos. I had a lot of fun learning about this. I'm a bio major, so I've learned about the Galapagos Islands a few times before. I mentioned Charles Darwin. Charles Darwin estudios animales en Las Islas Galápagos. They have a lot of animals. Es una blue-footed booby. It's in Ecuador. Semana 7, we did our second cultural activity. Fue tienda mexicana mi Lupita. Yo compré Takis y Jarrita soda. Me gusta both of them. Cuestan $5, no caro. I had a good time doing this. It was very easy. I liked going to the store. I'd never been into a store like that before. They had a lot of really cool stuff. Alright, so Semana 9 y 10. This is my Mexico poster. Es Frida Kahlo. Ella es una artista. Ella pinta plantas y she does self-portraits. Y ella es de Coacán, la ciudad de Mexico. Alright, and then in Semana 11 we had our TV assignment, or our TV commercial assignment. This was by far my favorite project that we did all throughout the semester. I would show y'all the video, but y'all already saw it. I did it on mis pendientes, my earrings. I wouldn't change a thing about that. I really liked my commercial and I had a really good time making it. Y mi familia is the last thing I wanted to share. So, starting from over there, ellos es mi abuelos, se llaman Babs y Pete. Pete es un granero, which is a farmer, y Babs es retired, she's retired. And ella es mi madre y él es mi padrastro. Él es mi padre y ellos son mis hermanos, Austin y Chase. Este es mi caballo Gator. Este es mi perro Tally. Y este es mi perro Jackson. And this is all the links that I used for my part on Colombia. And I am all done.